Ancient beginnings. Our tale begins in the misty depths of prehistory. About 33,000 years ago, the first humans set foot on Irish soil. But it wasn't until around 10,000 years ago that people really started to call Ireland home. These early settlers were hunter-gatherers, living off the land and adapting to Ireland's unique environment. They left behind tantalizing clues about their lives, stone tools, animal bones, and the occasional footprint preserved in ancient mud. The dawn of civilization. As the millennia rolled by, Ireland's inhabitants grew more sophisticated. The Neolithic period saw the rise of farming and the construction of impressive monuments. Ever heard of Newgrange? This ancient passage tomb is older than the pyramids and Stonehenge. Talk about ahead of their time. The Bronze Age brought new technologies and social changes. People started working with metals, creating intricate jewelry and powerful weapons. This period also saw the emergence of a more stratified society, with chiefs and warriors rising to prominence. Enter the Celts. Around 500 BCE, a new group arrived on the scene, the Celts. These Iron Age warriors brought with them a distinctive culture that would shape Ireland for centuries to come. The Celts weren't just about warfare, though. They were artists, craftsmen, and storytellers. They gave Ireland its language, its love of music, and many of its myths and legends. Ever wonder where those stories about fairies and leprechauns came from? You can thank the Celts. Christianity comes to Ireland. In the 5th century CE, Ireland underwent a major transformation with the arrival of Christianity. The man at the center of this change? None other than St. Patrick himself. Now, let's clear up a few things about good old Paddy. He wasn't actually Irish, gasp, he was British. And that whole driving the snakes out of Ireland thing? Probably just a metaphor for converting the pagans. But hey, it makes for a good story. Patrick and other missionaries brought not just a new religion, but also writing and new forms of learning. Monasteries became centers of knowledge, preserving ancient texts and creating beautiful works of art like the Book of Kells. The Viking Age. Just when Ireland was getting comfortable with its new Christian identity, along came the Vikings. These Norse warriors first raided Ireland in 795 CE, and they liked what they saw so much, they decided to stick around. The Vikings weren't just about pillaging and plundering, though they did plenty of that. They also founded many of Ireland's first towns, including Dublin, Waterford, and Limerick. They brought new trading networks and shipbuilding techniques. In many ways, the Vikings helped bring Ireland into the medieval world. Norman invasion and English rule. In 1169, Ireland faced a new invader, the Normans. Led by Strongbow, great name, right? These Anglo-Norman knights came at the invitation of an Irish king, but they soon had plans of their own. The Norman invasion marked the beginning of centuries of English involvement in Ireland. The next few hundred years saw a constant struggle between Gaelic Irish culture and English influence. Castles sprung up across the landscape, a visible symbol of this new power dynamic. The Tudor Conquest and Plantation era. The 16th and 17th centuries were a time of massive upheaval in Ireland. The Tudor monarchs of England, especially Elizabeth I, sought to bring the entire island under their control. This period saw numerous rebellions and wars, as well as the implementation of the plantation system. English and Scottish settlers were brought in to colonize parts of Ireland, particularly in Ulster. This policy would have long-lasting consequences, shaping the political and cultural landscape of Ireland for centuries to come. The Great Famine. The 19th century brought one of the darkest chapters in Irish history, the Great Famine. From 1845 to 1852, a potato blight caused widespread crop failure. Given that potatoes were the main food source for much of the population, the results were catastrophic. Over 1 million people died of starvation and disease. Another million emigrated, seeking better lives in America, Australia, and elsewhere. The famine had a profound impact on Irish society, culture, and demographics. It also fueled growing resentment against British rule. The fight for independence. As the 19th century gave way to the 20th, the push for Irish independence gained momentum. The Easter Rising of 1916, though initially unpopular, became a rallying cry for Irish nationalists. The War of Independence followed, culminating in the Anglo-Irish Treaty of 1921. This treaty established the Irish Free State, but it also partitioned the island. The 6 counties of Northern Ireland remained part of the United Kingdom, a division that would lead to further conflict down the line. The Troubles and the Peace Process. The latter half of the 20th century saw Northern Ireland plunged into a period known as the Troubles. This conflict between Unionists, mostly Protestant, and Nationalists, mostly Catholic, lasted for 3 decades and caused immense suffering. But even in dark times, there's hope. The Good Friday Agreement of 1998 brought an end to the worst of the violence and established a power-sharing government in Northern Ireland. It wasn't a perfect solution, but it was a massive step towards peace. The Celtic Tiger and modern Ireland. While Northern Ireland grappled with the Troubles, the Republic of Ireland was undergoing its own transformation. After joining the European Economic Community, now the EU, in 1973, Ireland's economy began to grow. In the 1990s, this growth exploded into what became known as the Celtic Tiger. Ireland became a hub for tech companies and international investment. The country modernized rapidly, becoming a leader in sectors like pharmaceuticals and software development. Today's Ireland. Today, Ireland is a modern, forward-looking country that still cherishes its rich heritage. It's a land of contrasts, ancient castles and gleaming tech campuses, traditional music sessions and cutting-edge art galleries. Ireland has given the world incredible literature, from James Joyce to Seamus Heaney. Its music, from traditional folk to rock bands like U2, has touched hearts around the globe. And let's not forget its contributions to the world of food and drink. Who doesn't love a pint of Guinness? Thanks for joining us on this historical adventure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And let us know in the comments, what's your favorite part of Irish history? Is there an aspect you'd like us to explore in more depth?